Hey everybody, happy Monday. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am a hot mess. I haven't even really brushed my hair today. But anyways, I've been so busy today, and I just thought I'd sit down here and turn the camera on and y'all can watch me craft, and I'm kind of looking for that little thing that puts more light on the subject. But anyways, I'm just sitting here. I thought I would craft. I'm crafting some of these little ribbon angels, and I thought I'd just share with you how I do it. I watched somebody else do it, and just like she did, she watched somebody else do it. Hey, how you doing? I'm not going to sing for you today, Tyler. No, I'm not. I'm not a singer, but I sure enjoy you. But anyways, I try to be as uplifting as I can. This was quite an experience. She tried something a little bit different. Then I tried what she did, and what she did was not what I wanted to do. And that's what crafting is about. Life is about that, period. You might watch somebody else cooking and get a totally different idea of something that you want to do that's different. We just get a little idea and we go for it. So anyways, I'm going to just let you know, when you pop on, you can sprinkle this out to your friends if you want. You can invite your friends to like my page if you want. But anyways, so ask me a question if you want. Type and talk about anything. Anyway, so I'm starting out. I have this iridescent wired ribbon. Now, I didn't have a lot of this ribbon, and I was trying to make it go as far as I can. I cut the pieces 8 inches. 2 pieces, 8 inches long. Well, when I now have measured it, it's a slight bit smaller than 8 inches. Now, when I did this one, I followed what she had said, and she suggested gluing down the sides. Well, I discovered when I glued down the sides, the skirt on the little angel's dress didn't stick out the way I wanted it to. So what I did was I glued down about a 1/2 inch. So I only glued down about a 1/2 inch. You can see, well, let's turn it this way. Here's the ribbon. So I glued down about a 1/2 inch. And when you do that and you pull it up to the top, that gives you more place for the skirt to kind of stick out. It makes the skirt kind of wider. But anyways, I'm going to turn this camera. Hey, John, thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. So I'm going to turn this camera down. I don't have a lot of space because my camera went dead. And, yeah, I need to get another extension cord. But, oh, Lord, I don't know if it's going to work. But anyways, here we are. So this is a wired ribbon. So basically what I do is I take the ribbon and I fold it in half, and I just pinch the wired section so it stays in place. And then I glue just a 1/2 inch down the side. So let's just do a 1/2 inch of glue. A real small amount of glue will hold this into place. It doesn't take a lot. Now, I use low temperature glue. You got to be careful when you're using your glue guns, because it'll burn your fingers, y'all. It will burn your fingers. So anyways, that's what I do. Just glue the 2 tops. And then what I do is I just start to kind of gather the 2 tops together. Okay? just kind of gather the top together and make kind of a little square point. Okay, so this little square point, when you gather it together, that becomes your body. Okay, I should have done the wings first. That's really the hardest part about this for me. I had seen them use jute, and jute is a little bit thick for me to be working with. So I switched, since this is a pink angel, I switched to a thin silk ribbon. So I have one silk ribbon and one piece of ribbon. So what I do is, again, I fold the ribbon in half. Now, I'm trying to come up with a ribbon angel for little boys or for men, something more not quite as feminine. So what I do is I just take a small amount of glue down the center. It's a tiny amount. And then I take this end and I fold it into that line of glue. Basically what you're doing is you're trying to get your ribbon to lay flat so it looks like that. Okay? Now, and you do the same thing on the other side, but I lay my bead of glue on top of the other piece of fabric. So there we go. We just glue it down and hold it in place so it's straight. And then you can take a stick or a pen. You really want to make sure that your glue is not hot. So it looks really kind of messy. See it? It looks messy. Hey, Francis, thank you for joining me. So it's going to look messy, but that part is going to be hidden. So once that's dry, then you're going to start gathering your little fabric towards the center, okay? And you're going to pinch it and grab your little fabric and fold it to the center and pinch it. And then you kind of just want to hold it in place. And you want to make sure you're at the halfway point between this side and that side. And I'm going to lay this down. And this, for me, is the hardest part. Getting the little ribbon tied with one hand while I'm holding it in place. Got to get it, hold with one hand. And you want it to be real tight, but you need it to be halfway between each side. So you want to make sure you're halfway before you tie it really, really tight. And by tight, I mean tight because when you start to pull the sides of the ribbon to fluff it out, yeah, it can actually kind of come apart a little bit. But I just kind of play with it, make sure it's real tight, real tight. And the silk ribbon, it just allows you to tie a much tighter knot than the larger piece of jute ribbon. So I just get that real tight, and then I pray that my knot stays. And then what I do is I just kind of open the ends. Hey, Connie, thank you for joining me. So I just kind of open the ends like that and get my strings out of the way and open the ends on this side. Now this is a metallic trimmed ribbon, so it really shows up good with the metallic trim. And this is actually, it just looks like a little bow tie. You see it? It looks like a little bow tie. This is actually an Easter ribbon. So then what I do is I just get my fingers in the center, like this, and I just kind of open it up and puff it out. Just kind of, once you get it all glued in place, you'll make the adjustments, and once you pack it, then you'll make the adjustments when you bring it out next year. Yeah, with working with ribbon, you just make all kinds of little adjustments. I love that. Hey, Paula, thank you for joining me. We are making ribbon angels just out of 2 pieces of ribbon. Now, I did forget to tell you, when I adjust the ribbon, I kind of want the knot. See where the knot is kind of at the back on the top? That way, when you go to hang it on the tree, the knot, it should probably hang straighter that way. And then what I do is I just kind of mess with it and get my knot tied for the top. And it's kind of hard to see. Of course, tying a knot with my old arthritic fingers can be a joke in itself, especially with this silk ribbon. It just wants to fly around its own way. Anyway, so I just kind of tie a knot and then work my knot until it's tight. And I find the best way to do that is to hold this end, hold the 2 ends, and then just kind of pull them that way so that you don't move your knot. Hey, Tammy, thank you for joining me. So that's what we got. We got a ribbon with a knot. Now that one kind of slid to the side, but that's okay. That just gives it kind of a pretty little look when it's hanging in the Christmas tree. Okay, so we got our wings done. I'm telling y'all, this is really, really simple. So we got our wings done, and now we're gonna take this little piece that we already glued for the dress. Remember, we glued it down just barely a 1/4 inch, and we're gonna gather it together, and we're just gonna kind of make a little, as much as we can, make a little bunch spot, kind of like that, like a little square spot up at the top. The main thing is to make sure that these little pieces right here stay glued together. All right, so I'm going to take a little bead of glue and I'm going to put it in there. And I'm going to wait for it to cool off a little bit because it is real hot. And I'm going to pinch it together to kind of make a little, kind of like that. Okay, you see where the sides are and you got that little square spot? Like that. I'm making a little angel, look. They look like this. Can you see it, Tammy? It's a little angel. So I got that spot. And then once I do that, I'm going to take that little spot. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here, on the bow itself. All right, there you go. It's on the bow. And I'm going to, this bow is a little bit bigger on the right than it is on the left. So I'm going to move my little body over a tiny bit. And when I place this on there, I'm going to place it just a tiny bit above flat and above where the wings are. Just a tiny bit flatter than the wings. A little bit higher than the wings. So you get it, it looks like this. And then sometimes when you do that, part of it might come apart. So you'll want to go in and gather it again just add a little bit more glue to the gathered area. The whole idea is to just get it to stay in place under there. And not burn your fingers. Get it to stay in place. Y'all, I have made so many of these and I have not had a problem. And here we are, Facebook Live, and look, I'm having a problem getting this thing together. All right, so then we got a pearl bead. Now you can use whatever you want. And I'm using a pearl, and that is going to be the angel's head. And you just place that pearl and hold it down. I might have a little bit of problem with this little skirt. I don't know why it's giving me a problem. It is giving me a problem. Anyway, so you get that on and see what it looks like now. Got our little head on. And then when you open it up, you just kind of open it up and you fluff it out. Now this side over here, that's the side that's giving me a little bit of trouble today. So, I don't know. It's like it kind of folded over and made a large gap. And so I'm going to take my little bead off and I'm going to work that little side over. And that's a good part about using hot glue. Sometimes you can move your stuff around and redo it, because that's kind of a big pleat and I'm not liking the way that pleat looks. So I'm going to take it off and I'm going to get these two pieces right there and I'm going to kind of put those two pieces together to make, it's kind of like the neck. I'm going to have to cut this glue off. There's a big bunch of glue. Anyway, so that's kind of like, when you put those two pieces together, that's kind of like the neck. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those two pieces down. And I'm just going to make sure those two little pieces stay down on my little angel. And I'm going to hold them in place so they stay down there. And then I'm going to take my little bead and I'm going to put my little bead on the top. So when you put your little head on, you kind of want it to be a little, like right up there at the top. See it? Right up there at the top. Now I can open her body. I have to be kind of gentle. And then just bend her little skirt and do the same thing with the wings. Open the little wings. And that's the good part about having the wired ribbon, because you can just fluff those little wings out. And I don't know how in the world my little wings got so out of size. That's okay. And my little dress, it doesn't seem to be staying on either. I think I need more glue on the back of this little dress. We're just going to hold that on there. Just hold it. Oh, there we go. We got it. We got it. And like I said, you can adorn them. You can put, what I've got here is, I want to cover up some of that glue that gets on there, that extra glue. Oh, okay. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you. So what I have is these little lace. They're kind of like a sheer fabric. They're little flowers. They're not perfect. They're made out of a little ribbon and a little pearl bead. So I just kind of, like I said, they're not perfect. But I want to cover that little blue spot that's kind of under her neck. So I just kind of put that in there. You know how, like sometimes on angels, they have like a collar around their dress? Look. Kind of looks like a little collar on there. So that's it.